This isn't going to be my typical video. This is going to be over something that's been bothering me a lot here lately, and in the past week it's been really on my mind. So I wanted to bring it to your attention out there and see what you think about it, and see what the solution might be that I can help with, because it's a problem that is affecting all of us in a silent way, and we don't even really know about it. This is my second career. I'm an engineer in jet engine maintenance, repair, and overhaul. And this isn't what I started out doing. I started out doing woodwork and remodeling and painting and various other things for a good 20 years. And I went to school for engineering in my mid-30s. And there was a student that stuck out in my mind a lot from those days. He was a master's student in engineering, and he was coming to us as freshmen, or me, wanting to know how to assemble a bolt and two pieces of metal with a through hole to where it would bolt all together and cinch up. Well, he was threading both holes, and if you do that, you'll never get them tight because of the threads. And so I kind of walked him through that, but it really stuck with me. This is an engineer that's going to go out and go into most likely industry. That's where me and a few other of my friends went to. And you need to know practical, hands-on skills. And especially if you're an engineer, or you'll get the typical design by engineer slur, and that rightfully deserved, because we don't know a lot of times the small skills, that how things are assembled and all that. Well, that really stuck with me, and it really didn't become apparent as a larger problem until I got into jet engines and aircraft maintenance and overhaul. There's a lot of used parts, there's a lot of old parts out there, and there is not the skill to overhaul them, and there's not the skill to remake them anymore out there. And that's a dangerous thing. I won't get too far into the exact field I'm in, but it's a national security issue. Because we have planes and equipment that are so old that the parts aren't being reproduced anymore. And we don't have the skills, let alone the shops in this country anymore, in the United States, to produce these parts. And I think it's one of the reasons of that is we've placed, in my lifetime, we've placed such a significance on the college diploma. And we have basically demeaned any kind of hand skill out there. So we've raised a whole generation, or several generations, to not value hand skills, like tightening bolts, like using a file, all the way to machining. These are vital skills, and these are skills that AI is not going to replace anytime soon. I'll die before they're replaced. So I wanted to bring this out there because I feel like if we are to rebuild our society, and we all kind of know something's not quite right. You know, things don't last as long. Things aren't made the way they used to be, even in my lifetime. And that starts with people that know how things go together. And that, to me, is Gen Z. And I guess Gen Alpha below them. And to a lesser extent, millennials. These are the generations that, for the most part, have been forgotten. They've been shoveled into college, despite, you know, having to pay over $100,000 worth of college tuition for nothing. And they've been kind of forgotten. And they're the ones that are going to have to rebuild this mess if we're ever going to get out of it. And that's, you know, that's infrastructure of the country. That's the, you know, manufacturing ability of this country. That's the machinery of this country. It all has to be maintained, and it's not, and that's not a low skill job. That's not a low skill, you know, it's plenty of small businesses. It's plenty of technical knowledge, because there's a lot of old electronics and control equipment out there. And we need to, as older generations, me, this is what I've been thinking about. We have to focus on training Gen Z and the younger generations on how to build things again, and to be proud of building things again, and to not demean someone for wanting to work with their hands. I love building things with my hands, or I wouldn't have built this shop/studio out in my backyard. So I love to build things, and we have to train them with the skills. And I would like to start focusing more on the younger generations, but I don't know where that begins. I don't know how to go about doing that. I've had some ideas of doing some homeschool type classes, you know, bringing the shop class back to homeschool, because it was totally eliminated in most public schools. I went to one, you know, when I was in junior high, but that was over 30 years ago. Or specific content, you know, geared for kids or something like that. I'm not really sure what to do, but I feel like I should do something, because this is a long-term project to rebuild our country, to rebuild our world. And it's going to be the younger generation. It's going to be a 40, 50-year project to rebuild infrastructure, manufacturing, and all that. And AI will help, but it's not the end-all be-all. That's not exactly, and robots aren't the answer either, because they're not going to be able to handle very complex problems anytime soon. So it's going to be the human factor. It's going to be the younger generations that pull us out of this. So I wanted to just hear your thoughts. If you have any thoughts on this out there, or any time you've ever talked to, you know, younger generation, or if you want to learn something more towards, like, you know, shop skills or something like that, drop a comment down below. I'm just kind of looking for ideas on how to help, looking for interest if there's a homeschool interest out there. You know, a homeschool, a shop class over Zoom with specific projects that are, you know, they can work on at their home. So they would have live instruction and then, you know, projects that they could work on. So it'd be hands-on, but with professional. And then, you know, this could be even a pre-engineering course or something like that. So I'm just looking for interest out there. Just looking to see what people say. If you have any comments on this, please drop it down below. I'll be more than happy to read. I'd be looking forward to reading comments. I find myself at a unique point. I have very unique skills, and I want to make sure that they're used in the best way possible. And you know, now is the time. Now is the time that we need to rebuild. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you in the next.